What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. In this video we are going to talk about 3 countries single men should visit in 2025. But before we get into that, smash the like button. It means the world to me. It really helps me out with the algorithm. And if you're interested in more content like this, which is in general content catered towards the high value world citizen, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Now with all that said, let's go ahead and get on into this video. So I was recently sent a video, and it was a guy talking about the 3 countries black men should visit this year. And if I can recall off the top of my head, he said Brazil, Philippines, and Poland. And I would say those are all decent options, although I would say Brazil is kind of overrated, but we aren't really going to get into that for this video. And none of those places would actually be in my top 3, which could be shocking to many of you because many of you know I have an affinity for Warsaw, Poland, but I think there are other superior options. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on into it. So we are going to start with the place that I would replace for Poland, and that is Estonia, specifically Tallinn. So this is really for my brothers out there who live the if it ain't snowing, I ain't going lifestyle, aka you are looking for the snow bunnies. So someone told me they have like the highest rate of models per capita, so they are extremely attractive in Estonia. Tallinn is an interesting place, a bit small admittedly, so it's not going to have the volume of a place like Warsaw, but there's going to be a lot less foreigners than a place like Warsaw attracts, and it's still going to be relatively good value for your money. It's not going to be bottom of the barrel prices. It's right across from, what is that, Helsinki, I believe, and then right next to Helsinki to the, what is that, west, you have Stockholm. So that kind of gives you an idea of where it is in the world. So probably don't want to go during winter time, like right now, because it's going to be freezing. The days are going to be extremely short, not going to be a lot of energy, and just not my personal ideal weather time. The sun's gonna set at like 3 p.m. I don't know off the top of my head because I didn't look it up, but you catch what I'm putting down. Now towards spring, late summer, or spring and summer, way better option, way fewer tourists and foreigners than a place like Warsaw gets. You could say that Warsaw is a better city than Tallinn, but I think you would have a better time and probably more success dating in a place like Tallinn than you would in Warsaw. But really, you couldn't go wrong with either. But if I had to choose one, I would go with Tallinn in Estonia. You could also try Riga, Latvia as well. And even Vilnius in Lithuania is a great option, but I think the other 2 places in the Baltic states are a little bit more superior for beauty and overall lifestyle than Lithuania, in full transparency. Then I would go across the world, or halfway across the world, if you will, to Buenos Aires in Argentina. So this would be my replacement for Brazil. Now, here is the thing. I think Buenos Aires in Argentina is one of the coolest cities in the entire world, and it has extremely attractive women, especially if you know like the history. I'm not getting into it, but Argentina does have a little bit of superiority complex because they have a little bit more European blood than the brethren and I guess sisters that surround them. So they are a little bit more European looking, and they are extremely attractive in Buenos Aires. But as a city, Buenos Aires, amazing. Obviously, everyone knows about Argentine steakhouses. So you got amazing steak, you got great food, you got a decent location in the fact that you can get access to a place like Paraguay, Uruguay. You could even go to Brazil. It's a little bit distant from a place like Colombia, but people are saying Buenos Aires is getting a little bit more expensive, and I'm sure that's probably true, but it's such low bottom of the barrel prices that you're still going to have excellent value for your money in a truly world class and really cool fun and interesting city. So I would highly recommend going to Buenos Aires, Argentina. I would even recommend it more so than pretty much any city in Brazil. Although I do think Brazil has a lot to offer, I think Buenos Aires is better. Then finally, I don't really have a replacement for the Philippines because, first of all, everyone knows I love Thailand. I'm not as high on the Philippines or Vietnam and some other places like Bali or Indonesia, I guess, as some other people. And I think everyone is pretty much aware of places like Thailand. And the alternatives that I would recommend just aren't as great, A, for dating as a lot of those places, but B, the culture shock, especially if you're like more of a first time traveler, is going to be absolutely insane. But if you don't mind culture shock, Tokyo is great. Taipei in Taiwan is great. Seoul in South Korea is great. Hong Kong, another excellent option. All those cities are incredibly cool, but they have more of a learning curve to them than a place like the Philippines because the level of English in the Philippines is so high. Same within like Vietnam and Thailand, you can get away with not knowing the language. In a place like Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, and some of those other places I said, it's gonna be a lot more of a learning curve, like I said. So the place I would actually put third would be like Thailand or something like that, but I've talked about it ad nauseum on this channel, so we're actually gonna go with a different place, and we're going with another place that I actually talk a lot about lately, and that is going to be Albania. So this kind of comes down to like, why are you traveling? Are you traveling for world experiences? Are you traveling to look for a second home, a backup plan? Are you trying to get residencies? Are you interested in dating? All these things are going to factor in, but I would say Albania is one of the hidden gems in the world. Now, it's not going to be as vibrant for dating as a place like Estonia and Tallinn because it doesn't have that level of beauty, although the body type is more my personal type because they aren't as tall, but objectively they aren't as pretty facially as well. So, like I said, it kind of depends on your goals. But the cool thing with Albania is, especially if you want to be somewhere long term, you get visa free access for up to a year, and you can live in a really amazing high quality of life in Albania, which is surprising to many of you. You don't have to worry about safety, and it's not like some backwater third world shithole like some people think it is. Not riddled with crime, and the younger generation speaks plenty of English for you to get along. And the reason I think it's an interesting option is because, first of all, a lot of the local competition isn't going to be that high in the dating market. Second of all, you're not going to have a bunch of competition from tourists or foreigners because not a lot of them go to Albania, and it's not like a passport bro destination or like a day game pickup artist destination like Poland is. So I think it would actually be easier for you to get access to the highest level of Albanian women than it would be for you to get access to the highest level of Polish women, just because you have more of a foreigner factor and there's more of a shine to you, if you will. So with that said, Albania would be one of the places that should interest you. I will caution you, as it relates to the dating, it is probably not ideal for like trying to just hook up with as many women as possible, which to each their own if that's what you want to do. That is probably not going to be the most optimal place for that. But as far as everything else, like a really cool place, a great location, good climate all year around, you really can't beat Albania, and it has a really interesting history, and it is kind of a good place to use to explore like North Macedonia or Greece or Montenegro or Bosnia and Herzegovina, or what is that, Croatia, Serbia, and I think that's all off the top of my head, Kosovo. And they're super friendly and open to foreigners as well. So that's why I would say you should probably be interested in Albania. With all that said, I think that's going to wrap up the video, and those are the 3 places I would recommend. Now, with all that said, we are going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, peace, much love.